What is good, everybody? What's good, everybody? My name is Emmanuel Wallace, the founder and leader of Dream Publications of Dream Chaser Nation. And today we are with Sarai Wallace, another author of our newest release called Freedom. So, Sarai, please tell us about yourself.
I'm Sarai, 16, still in school. Yeah.
So what are your hobbies? Let's talk about your hobbies real quick.
I like to watch movies, and I'm in track right now, so that's taking up most of my time.
Okay. Recently, we've noticed that you started picking up an anime and liking the anime.
Yes!
So, we noticed you've been watching Naruto. Is there anything you've been learning from that show specifically?
Honestly, that show, okay. You learn like so many life lessons on like not giving up and like knowing your why, or like their ninja way, that's what they call it, but I think of it as their why, and like teamwork, and how like friendships and true relationships and like motives, and doing the right thing too, and believing in yourself even when people doubt you. It's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
So we're gonna keep it on the Naruto scheme, because this kind of connects to freedom. So when you think about Naruto, you think about how his journey went through and how he grows eventually. I know you're still in the first seasons right now, but as he grows as a young man, as a young adult, you can see his character development. So, as you know, he had the nine-tailed beast within him, and he had a mentor. So with you, how has the Lord been your mentor and helped you find yourself?
So you know how like Naruto, he was rejected. I wasn't rejected by people, but I didn't necessarily feel accepted by people, And you know how Naruto, he's like, I'm going to be recognized as the third Hokage, fourth Hokage. And at that time I was like, yo, nobody really knows me. I'm just out here chilling, doing nothing. And I'm just here. And where he was like, yo, you actually have like a purpose, and like you can actually do it, And like with Naruto, like that's his ultimate goal, and he does whatever he can to like get there, even if it requires him to lose like a whole body system. He still does it. He's like, yeah, you can do that. Like people do know you, but I'm just like, I don't really want. Like I don't do it for the people. Yeah.
So you don't want attention, but you just want people to know that you did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, but Naruto, he was kind of an outgoing young fella. So for you, how does that countermeasure your character or enhance who you are in a sense?
I mean, I'm not really that outgoing. Well, it depends on what I'm doing, but he seems to make friends like everywhere. Like just by being himself and stuff. And I'm able to do that, but not as like freely as he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you said being yourself. That's one thing that Naruto does really well. So as you walk this road, as you grow, how have you learned more about yourself and who you are?
I would say like in the first year that I got saved, I had to learn like my worth and who I was. So then I was able to like meet more people and help them. If I couldn't really, you can't really do that if you can't help yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to learn who I was before like he started doing more stuff and all that.
Mm-hmm. So what's your philosophy then going through? Like what's kept you going? What's kept you strong in this journey?
It's for God and not for people.
It's for God and not for people. What does that mean?
I don't do it to impress people or to be like, oh, she's this. And it's like, no, I'm not doing this for you, because you don't determine my salvation. A. And B, God is the only one that's really in control of like everything. So like it goes to him first, and then everybody else.
If you think back in your story, you talked a little bit about how you wanted to be accepted by people and how people kind of ruled how you thought about yourself. You wanted to be perfect. You wanted to be the top of the line where everybody understood, like, oh yeah, she the best. Yeah, we cared now, you know. Perfection was the reason for people to care. At least that's what you thought, right? So tell me, like, how has that changed and molded within you?
It's gotten better, but I still struggle with this sometimes. Like, I know I'm not supposed to be perfect, but like, for me, like with music, for instance, like I'm in band, so like you have to be
Precise.
like on the top tier. So I still struggle with that a little bit. And then for track 2, it's not really perfection, but it's just like pushing. I could do that, but anyway.
Pushing yourself beyond your limitations.
And for grades too. I guess it's just the expectations I put on myself to be perfect.
There's a difference between perfect and high expectations. So when you talk about the word perfect, what do you mean when you mean perfect? Flawless?
Yes.
Without blemish?
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, like flawless is like everything is done correctly and like precise. And, like, just gorgeous. Just like super clean. Everything's like
So I've been told 2 things in my lifetime that really stuck with me. 2 things, ladies and gentlemen. One is that a diamond is never perfect because it starts off uncut. And 2, you can't plan everything in life. So tell me, when you think about a diamond specifically, as yourself, because you are a blooming and blossoming diamond, you got any pressure? Because when the Lord really touches your heart, it really starts working on you. That's when the pressure starts to come on, because as we all know, growth requires pressure and nutrients. So, when you think about diamonds, what do you think about first?
Don't they start off as gold?
They start off anything you
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Okay, so like, you know, sometimes they start off as gold, right? Yeah. So like, I think of the coal as like your struggle and stuff, you know, and then like when you're underground, that's like when in that little dark valley type stuff. It's like, yo, I need some help. And then when they start getting help, I feel like that's when pressure comes off, because they try to like act like nothing's wrong or like they're perfectly fine, whatever. And then it's just like more pressure that they're putting on themselves, and like some pressure from like friends and family because they're not like that anymore or something. And then when it becomes like in the diamond shape type stuff is when they're like actually getting better. And then when they're cut, it's just like finishing touches, I guess. And stuff up.
It's beautiful beyond its flaws. I like that. See, I got that off from what you were saying. So basically, that's what you said, sister. What you were saying is it's beautiful beyond its flaws.
Yeah.
And one thing you mentioned that I want to hit on right now is that it called out for help. So, please elaborate on that.
Like when I say called out for help, I'm just like,
and I say this because a lot of times people don't ask for help and they don't try to look up towards that light at the end of the tunnel, right? So, and as the pressure begins to be put on, people start to cave in. And that's where even more pressure is. But then they hinder and crack instead of forming to diamonds. So when you say call out for help, what does that mean to you? Like, in your situation, what was your thing that made you call out for help?
oh. So I would just tell you like this whole synopsis or whatever. So I was, I think it was 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade. I don't remember the day it was, but I think it was like in winter, and like I was in the car just like bawling my eyes out. It was nighttime too, so they couldn't see me crying. But yeah, I was bawling my eyes out, and then we got home, and Mom was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Nothing." And then obviously she knew I was lying, so she closed the door and then we talked to them. It was snot tears. And then I went to bed that night, and then I was like, "Yo, I can't do this, bro. Like I can't do this anymore." I was like, "Lord, I need some help." And then I think I cried myself to sleep that night. Yeah. I was like, "Oh, did you forget about me? Like, I'm still here." And then that's when I really knew. I was like, "Yeah, I need help." And then after that, I think that's when I started. Yeah, that's when I started speaking.
So at your lowest point, do you remember what you were crying about?
Yeah. It wasn't really petty, but because I was thinking of it more than what it actually was, like all my other emotions were being drawn into that, and it made it worse. So. Okay, what? Okay.
So, as you mentioned, you play the flute, you run track, you even sing sometimes. So, allow me to ask this question. When you think about your sound when you play your flute, or think about the steps you take as you run, how do those correlate with your walk with Christ? How do those tiny instances of beauty, I'll say, of beauty, reflect your life with the Lord?
I'll say like with my flute, I did that. I started that first. And I kind of thought of my music as my relationship with Christ. Because at first I was like, when I first got saved, I was like, I can't get mad. Da-da-da-da. I can't like feel actual emotions, and I have to be like perfect, like as if nothing was wrong in the first place, you know? And then I think as the years progressed and I got better, like it's okay to make mistakes. Because because like with music, if you mess up a note in practice, it's fine. It's practice. But like for performance, if you do, most people won't really hear it, but you know you did it, so then you just feel like guilty and stuff, and it's like, yo. Yeah, and then you like start like thinking on it, just like feel like I could have done that better, I could have done this better, but like that's already passed, so you can't. I mean, you can, but it's too late. Does that make sense? And then like for track, I'll say that helped me to like trust myself more and trust God more, if that makes sense.
Explain a little bit, elaborate.
Because when it first started, I was like, I'm not as fast as everybody else, and then I ended up running at 400. Anyway, and then I was like, I don't know if I could do this or if I should. And he was like, yeah, just do it. You surprise yourself, and I did. And it's like, trust yourself, because like your body will tell you what you need, like what you need to do. And if you trust that, then you should be good. But if you don't believe that you can actually finish a race, then you won't. For instance.
So it's basically not allowing you to hold back.
Yeah.
So it's easy. It's all or nothing. Man, all or nothing. So when you think about all or nothing, when you talk about your story, how you were and how you are now, has everything changed? Probably not, right?
No.
So tell us, what does the process mean to you?
Like this process of
Living.
It's a journey. I'll say that it's just like it's a journey. It takes a while, like most stuff does. Well, stuff like that does. And it's gonna be hard. sometimes because you have to face some things that you try to suppress, you know? But, they say choose suppressants. Okay. Yeah.
Now I have a really mind-bending question for you. Why?
Why what?
Why would you trust the process?
Because good things usually come from a little process.
Now, is that always certain though? Because, well, what happens in the process? What do you think? What happens in the process?
Well, look, it's just like, I don't know, like, okay, so like on TikToks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm famous in. Like for TikToks, when they're like doing hair or like cooking or building something, it starts off like really questionable. And it's like, yo, I don't think this is gonna end well. And then like they keep going and it starts to look a little better. And then like the more time passes, the better it starts to look. And it's like, oh, okay, that's what that was, you know? Like that's what it's meant to be.
Meant to be. Purpose. So, one of the main core principles of the book Freedom is trial and error, cause and effect, and growth and development. So, this is going to be my last question for you, and I want you to go into as much detail as possible. Alright? So, as you made your decision, what was the hardest thing for you to change? Because I know through this process with walking with Christ, it is a process and a journey of change. So, what was the hardest thing for you to change, grow, or develop in your relationship as an individual, spiritually, and just living?
So, okay, individual, oh, good. Okay, individually, the hardest thing for me to change was trying not to control everything. You know, because if I don't feel like if I can't like think about how like different scenarios of how it would go, then I don't do it at all. It's like for most stuff I like to picture how it would go, like different endings for it. It's not weird. And then like if I don't do that, then I don't freak out, but then I question everything. And then also trying not to be perfect again. So we're working.
Good thing to save time, right? Well, how long you been at? 2 years? 2 years? 3 years?
And then spiritually, I say like being vulnerable, because I'm a very private person. And the fact that I wrote that book was it wasn't a lot, but it was like I felt exposed. So kind of naked a little bit, you know, because like nobody knows what my story is unless they read that book, or if they ask, or if I feel like telling them, you know. And that's the same with God, because like I try to figure stuff out by myself. It's like growing up, we were like, figure it out. It's not a shot. It's just like figure it out.
That's how it was.
You know, and then some things I haven't figured out still. That's why I gotta tell God about it. You know, because I can't figure it out by myself most of the time.
It's not a you journey, it's a we journey, right? Anything else you wanted to add?
And then, what's that?
Outwardly.
Outward. I would say probably taking over.
Like doing track. You never would have thought you'd done track, right?
No, well, I did, but I didn't think I'll actually go through with it. It's like I always wanted to. I was like, well, I have to wear this super short. But yeah, just taking risks in general, because like I said, I like to make scenarios, and if I can't make a scenario, I don't do it. Trusting more people.
They're all good things. Now, do you want to have a final word to our audience? Inspire, encourage, anything like that?
I don't know, honestly, I feel like things like this is like a two-person thing. You know? Like relationships and stuff. And like one person can't do the whole thing because then it's not really a relationship. It's just like acquaintances or whatever. And then you gotta put some work in it too if you really want a change.
Alright. Well, you heard her, folks. You gotta put your back into it. You heard? Alright. Feel free to get your copy of Freedom at www.jamesfo1.com. Thank you, Sarai, for being a part of this interview and also being a co-author of this brilliant book. So far, only good reviews, so you know it's worth it. Alright. Stay strong, stay wise. Love you. Peace.
Let me ask you something. If we all had a story, would you share it? Would you share your past, your present, your pain and hardship, your new pain and hardship? Maybe. But join us as we share our story, our walk with Christ, with you, in freedom. This is the meaning of life. Get yours now at www.jamesfo1.com. Peace.